In the previous session, I told you all that we will continue from the slide related to the modern means of irrigation. The modern means the modern methods which will be used for irrigation. Okay, so we have to study today which are the modern methods of irrigation and what are the things which are really necessary for the crops to grow. Okay, so let us see which are the modern methods of irrigation. First of all, you should know, before the methods, you should know the crops which are there. Crops, you know, everyone knows that the farmers are really working hard in the fields for the production of the food crops. Okay, not only food crops, but there are different variety of crops. So these crops which are there, these crops grow well when they are watered. That means what? When the crops get water, proper amount of water, then the crops will grow well. From where these crops they get water from? The water which is there provided to the crops, from where you get this, which is the, so what is the source of water? Yes, the source of water will be rivers, lakes, wells, and rainwater. Okay, so these are the sources of water: rivers, lakes, wells, and rainwater. From this, the crops will be watered. Then from this picture, you must have guessed it. This picture is about what? You can see here, you must be observing, watching the news. In that news channel also, you must be able to see what this exactly is. And the picture is about what? The picture is about a dam. So the water is being collected, the rainwater is collected in the dams, and that's why dams are also used for irrigation, or dams are really useful to provide water to the crops. So these are dams. Then the greater quantities of water are stored by building dams. The greater quantities, see, now rainwater is being collected. Rainwater will flow off if you are not collecting it at one at one place, because we need water throughout the year. But throughout the year, rain is not available. So that rainwater is being collected in the dams. And this rainwater is not only used for crops, for the production of crops, but it is also used for drinking purpose. Purification is made and then drinking, for the drinking purpose. Now see the next picture. What is this? This picture is about what? Those were dams. Now what is this picture about? This is a wall which is being constructed. Okay, and small you can see these small boxes which are there. The water is collected in this. These are known as bunds. Boundaries are made. Okay, so water is also collected in the bunds which are close to the fields. Then now look here, this another water body. This water body, besides, see to the right and the left of the water body, you can see the crops over here. Okay, now these crops which are there, the water is provided by this canal. This is a canal. So the traditional method, the ancient method which were used, the crops were traditionally watered through canals. How they were watered? Through the canals. Now you can see the water which is there in the canal. But the problem was, this is the traditional method. In the ancient times, this canals were used to provide water to the crops. Now what happens? Because of the rays of the sun, what will happen to the water in the canals? The water gets slowly converted into water vapor, into steam. That means the water is out. Some water is absorbed by the ground. That means it is seeped into the ground. So some water is wasted because it is absorbed into the ground, and some water is turned into water vapor. And that's why canals which were providing water to the crops is an age-old technique now. So loss of water due to evaporation and seepage into the ground is only because of these canals. So crops were traditionally watered through canals. Now look here. Drip irrigation. Let us see the modern means of irrigation now. So the first method, which is used now, new technology which is used, is the drip irrigation method. Can you see here? The crops, observe, these are the crops, and beside the crops you can see the pipes which are laid. This is a white pipe. You can see the black color pipe over here with all this with the black color pipe. Simultaneously you can see the white pipe over here. You know why these pipes are being laid? These pipes are being laid to give water to the crops. You know what? These pipes which are there are with holes. The pipes are with holes, and through the holes the crops are given water. So what will happen? Because of this, no wastage of water. Water is not wasted, and crops are also getting proper water. So water is there provided to the crops properly, and water is also not wasted. So through the pipes, with the help of those holes, the water is being provided to the crops. So this method is known as drip irrigation method. Why drip? You know what is a drip now? When you use a saline, when doctor gives a saline, when doctor gives a drip with the bottle, okay, straight away he pokes and full bottle inside your body? No. How he gives the drip? How it is? Drop by drop. Drop by drop, the drip is given to the patient, and this is how it goes inside his blood, okay, inside his body. Similarly here also, drip by drip, or we can say drop by drop, water is being provided to the crops, okay, with the help of that holes, and that's why it is known as drip irrigation method. Let us see the second method. Look here, the second method. Yes, what are these? These are sprinklers. You know, can you see the pipe over here? This pipe, and connected to the pipe are the sprinklers. Thus, these sprinklers work as a fountain. Okay, they just move in a circular manner. And when these sprinklers move in a circular manner, they spray water. Can you see the water which is sprayed over here? Yes, the water is being sprayed, and the crops get water. So what happens because of the sprinkler method, sprinkler irrigation method? Water is saved. Not much quantity of water is required for the crops, and the water is being given overall to all the crops. So we studied two methods, modern methods of irrigation. One is the drip irrigation method, pipe with holes. And second, we saw the sprinkler irrigation method. Now what happens in the sprinkler? These sprinklers are of small size and even of big size. There is a variety. So it makes use of sprinklers of different sizes that spray water directly. So this is a sprinkle irrigation method. Okay, remember these two methods, modern techniques. Now in the previous session I told you that fertilizers are used for the crops. You know why fertilizers are used for the crops? What is the use of the fertilizers? Boys, there is a production of wheat grain in the field. You remove the crop. Again, there is a production of on the same soil, same land. Again and again, when there is a crop production in the same soil, what will happen? It will reduce the fertility of the soil. It will reduce the nutrition of the soil. And when the nutrition of the soil will be reduced, next time crop production will not be good. And that's why fertilizers are used. If the same crops are grown, then the fertility of the soil decreases. Now what happens? Fertilizers provide the nutrition, or we can say provide nutritive substance to the crop. Now this nutrition which is provided to the soil will restore the fertility of the soil, and again you can grow good quality of crops, and that's why fertilizers are used. Now these fertilizers are of two types. I will ask you at the end of the session which are the two types of fertilizers: natural fertilizers and chemical fertilizers. The two types of fertilizers are natural and chemical. Now let us see first one, natural fertilizers. Now see the first slide here, animal dung. You know what do you mean by animal dung? The waste of animal. Animal waste is the animal dung, which is really a good natural fertilizer for crops. Second, see the green waste. Now what is a green waste? Green waste means the waste usually which is coming out from the kitchen. Example, mama will use spinach, palak leaves. Okay, she will separate the palak leaves, the spinach leaves, okay, and the stalk which is there is separated. It is thrown away. Okay, then carrot. When you are using a carrot, you peel off the carrot. You peel off the onion peels, garlic peels. Okay, all these peels, all everything, the waste which is there in the kitchen is a wet garbage. You know now, nowadays we are separating a dry garbage and a wet garbage. What is this wet garbage? Wet garbage is from the kitchen. The waste of fruits, the peel of fruits, the vegetable waste, garlic peels, onion peels, all this is a waste garbage which is there, is a green waste, boys. This is actually a good manure for the plants. It is very nutritive for the plants, and that's why this comes in natural fertilizers. Natural fertilizers are called manures. What are they known as? Manures. Natural fertilizers are called manures. They are obtained from materials. This manure which is there is obtained from animal dung and green waste. And I told you what is a green waste. The waste which is coming out of the vegetables, usually which is from the kitchen, is a green waste. Okay, and animal dung. Animal dung means animal waste. Now here, see the chemical fertilizers. These are the chemical fertilizers, or we can say chemical or artificial. Artificial means nakli. Artificial. Chemical fertilizers are a mixture. Now, which is this mixture? It is a mixture of different substances. Example, when you bake a cake, when mama will bake a cake, okay, she will use everything in proportion. Then only the cake will be fluffy. It will come out well. If you are not using all the ingredients in proportion, what will happen to the cake? It won't come out well. Similarly, when chemical fertilizers are used, then the substances which are there, the chemicals which are there in them, are in proper specific proportion. What will happen if the chemicals are not in specific proportion? It will damage the crops. So whenever you are using a chemical fertilizers, then a mixture of different substances are in specific proportion. Okay, the next. Now this is traditional agriculture. Traditional means if you are using the old methods of agriculture. So in traditional agriculture, or when our generation, our forefathers, if they were in villages and they were doing all this, now also in villages they are using traditional methods of agriculture. Now you, as I told you, see, can you see on the slide the waste? You can see a green vegetable waste, peel of the cabbage, carrots, wasted carrots, radish, everything. This waste is actually dirty to look, but it is a really good manure for the plants. This is a natural fertilizer, manure to the plants. Now what happens over here? These waste is collected, okay? It is collected into a compost pit. Pit means a ditch, okay? All this waste is being dumped into that pit. And with the process, what happens? It is converted into a compost. And this compost, can you see this? Soil? Yes. This is a compost which is being prepared by this waste. With the green waste, this compost is prepared. And this compost is used for the production of crops. This compost is being fed to the crops. It is being put into the soil where the crops grow, and you will get a good quality, nice production of crops. So this is the compost. Now your duty is, your task is, you should know how is the compost prepared. So at the end of the session, once the session is over, check on the YouTube how is the compost prepared. Nowadays it is Ganpati festival, Ganesh festival, so you're offering flowers to God, flowers. But after offering those flowers, you collect it back because they are dried. What happens to those flowers? What do you do with those flowers? You just throw it. But there are some organizations, what they are doing, they are collecting all these flowers, all this waste, and they are making it in a form of compost. And this compost is useful for crops. So if you want a quick growth, for quicker growth, means if you want your crops to grow quickly, okay, and higher yield. What do you mean by higher yield? More production, huge production in a less time. Quicker growth means you want everything in a quick time. When you are hungry, okay, then you say, Mama, please give me something to eat. I'm very hungry. So what Mama will do, within 2 minutes, whatever is possible for her to make, quickly she will give you. So your hunger is also satisfied, and within no time you're getting it. Same thing for the crops. 2 minutes Maggi masala. Yes or no, Mama, Maggi noodles. I want it. I'm hungry. Yes, production. Same thing happens over here for crops. See, what you need? Quick growth. Means in a less time, big growth. Okay. Plus higher yield. Means what? Huge production. And for that, what you need? You cannot go for natural fertilizers. You need chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers will give you huge growth, higher yield, good production. But let me tell you, boys, if you are using more of chemical fertilizers, it will damage the fertility of the soil. So everything should be in proportion. Now, this picture, this diagram explains you how organic fertilizers are better than chemical fertilizers. But what has happened nowadays, boys? The production, we need good production, and that's why you go for chemical fertilizers. Why? Population of India is increasing. Population is increasing. We should increase the production also. But observe this diagram carefully now. What happens? If you want a good quality food, then go for organic fertilizers. But if you want good quantity should be more, then go for chemical fertilizers. Look here. Now this organic fertilizers are being mixed into the soil. soil will provide nutrition. This nutrition will be provided to the plants. Okay, this is organic. Now look here for chemical fertilizer. Chemical fertilizers, when they are mixed into the soil, straight away the nutrition is provided to the plant. Understood? Straight away chemical fertilizers are providing nutrition to the plants. This chemical fertilizer is not going deep into the soil. It is not used by microorganisms even. Okay, straight away nutrition is provided to the plant, so the production will be more. But organic fertilizer, what is happening? It is providing nutrition to the plant as well as to the soil. So production will be less, but you will get a good quality food to eat. Hassan, your brother is also listening or what? Observing? Okay. Now look here. What happens when you're using chemical fertilizers? It lowers the fertility of the soil. Lowers means what? Reduces the fertility. Reduces the nutrition content into the soil. It damages the soil. Second thing, it reduces productivity. What do you mean by productivity? Growth of crops. So growth of crops are also reduced. It reduces the fertility of the soil. Two things are very important. Disadvantage of chemical fertilizers. Then, if you are overwatering the land, you keep on pouring water on the land, what will happen? Soil will be eroded, soil will be washed off. It will make the land saline. You know what is saline? Content of salt will be more. That is saline land. And this saline land is no use for agriculture. Overwatering makes the land saline. This is seen where you can see the dams and river banks. There is more quantity of water is much more, and that's why you will have saline water. So the production will be less over there. So if you are planting a sapling, don't overwater your sapling, it will die. Too much of anything will hamper. Example, Ganpati Bappa, Modak. You are eating Modak. Keep on eating. Those are we can say favorite. Okay. And once your stomach is full, capacity is done, everything is done, you are full. Still you keep on eating Modak. What will happen to your stomach? It will pain. It will damage your digestive system. Same thing happens here. When you are using water for the plants, very good. But when you are using excessive water, very bad. Okay, so it makes the land saline. And now in the next session, you will see how these diseases attack the crops. Okay, how these pests attack the crops and they damage the crops. You can see the black dots on the leaves. This is a disease for the crops, the pest attacking the crop. Okay, so all this thing we will see in the next session of Food for All.